And so that story does bring to light domestic violence. It's also a chance to remind you the resources that are available for victims. Channel 8's Anthony D'Agostino has some advice.
Domestic violence is one of the most prevalent crimes in the U.S., with nearly 10 million women and men being victims. In Nebraska, it's no different. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some sort of physical or sexual violence in their lifetimes. But domestic violence doesn't just start or end with physical attacks. It can be much more hidden.
Domestic violence is about control and power. It eventually sometimes leads to physical violence, but it starts in various forms of manipulation or control tactics, and intimidation, financial control. It can be in various forms before and not including physical violence.
If you think you may be experiencing domestic violence, capt-dilsaver says to reach out to domestic violence advocates, like the Nebraska Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence, or call 911. But it may not be as simple as that. You may fear being attacked. However, there are still ways to reach out for help.
Another discreet option is to text to 911 so as to not have a live phone call. But that's a very legitimate fear for survivors.
Once you're able to get out of a situation, it's important to have somewhere safe to go. The Friendship Home in Lincoln can house you in a discreet location, but they can't accommodate everyone. The People's City Mission helps shelter anyone immediately, including those suffering from domestic violence.
People's City Mission is not a domestic violence shelter. We're a general purpose shelter. However, the vast majority of the people that stay at the mission on the family side are coming because of domestic abuse. And we can house anywhere from 100 to 120 people, most of those kind of dealing with domestic violence. So we are an important part of the domestic violence help in Lincoln.
Pastor Tom says about 70 to 80% of all the women in the shelter are victims of domestic violence. And he says it's the leading cause of homelessness in the city. While they're there, the mission helps them connect to other resources across town. Reporting in Lincoln, Anthony D'Agostino, Channel 8 News.